Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. In today's video we're going to be looking over Palantir Technologies and what some of the new news on where this stock might be heading due to their Q1 earnings, obviously as always beating expectations and blowing through their estimates all the way across the board. This trend has been something that has been set and has been continuing over the past almost 2 years running. So with that, Palantir is definitely a very profitable stock depending on when you have bought into Palantir Technologies. They are a huge company and are continuing to scale at pretty much every angle that there is. So as it stands right now, the stock ended up closing today at 136.60 a share. So that is almost exactly in between the two resistance lines that we had initially drawn out, with a support line down here on 126 a share. We'll go ahead and draw that line out from 126, and then a median line on 141 a share. So they're still staying within these two margins as it stands. So I'm not going to talk too much on the 157 marker until we end up with another breakthrough, which is very possible to come with the news that ended up coming out through Axios and also a brief from Palantir itself. So, and the big news is that Palantir is currently battling the Pentagon for the ability to bid on a contract to modernize the Pentagon's data analytics system. So that in itself is going to be massive, because Palantir Technologies is already a huge player in the US defense. So with their AI capabilities and their streamlined approach to being able to bring anything up to speed faster and to completely revolutionize and incentivize a line drive where you can take a single product and be able to push it through and create it in such a standard way that there is no waste, no issues, and that everything is strategically placed and brought in at the exact time that it needs to be, is something unparalleled that we have seen with multiple different AI companies. And that is what's still keeping Palantir Technologies at the forefront of the AI company race. So with them challenging the Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency over its ability to bid for a contract to modernize their data analytics system, they are arguing that the DIA is not using commercial software options and is wasting taxpayer money by continuing to develop the system internally. So the program, called the Machine Assisted Analytic Rapid Repository System, has been in development for years as a replacement for an older intelligence platform, but has produced uneven results compared with available commercial tools. So a senior Trump administration national security official told Axios that the White House wants a broader competition in federal tech contracts. So Palantir did not immediately respond on a request for comment, but as it stands, it's going to definitely show that the old way that the government has been running for quite some time is yet again showing that it is the slowest and most costliest way to be able to do things with very little to no result. So while there are a lot of issues on bringing in a lot of outside sources into the federal government, being you have massive leaks, massive data leaks, and intelligence leaks that can happen when turning to outside sources. But with how deeply rooted Palantir Technologies is already inside the government, and also putting forth a lot of their defense contracts that they already have with the U.S. government, it almost seems as if it would really be a landslide for Palantir Technologies to be able to jump straight into the market for being awarded this contract for the U.S. Department of Defense, bringing in the DIA to be able to once again do what Palantir does best and elevate everything that they touch, make it smarter, faster, and also way more efficient than what it originally was. So this is I wouldn't say an upset, but it is definitely a huge controversy that's going to be coming into Palantir because they are the ones driving for this contract. And it sparked quite a bit of controversy where there have been quite a few massive insider shares sold off. So we've had a multitude of 8-figure sell-offs where we had one sell-off of over $43.5 million, another sale of over $54 million, a third sale of $22.5 million, and then there were quite a few others that were in the 7-figure range as well. So that is definitely, even with those big sell-offs, it's still not necessarily holding the stock back, but it is definitely showing some unnecessary, I would say, caution to where if the government doesn't pull the trigger on Palantir Technologies to jump in and work their magic with the Pentagon's DIA, then it could end up setting Palantir back once again, where honestly the stock would probably end up falling back into the bottom on their support line, which we can see even all the way back into February. The lowest it has been peaking is been the 126 a share. So where we're standing right now at the 136 a share, if that was to happen, it's still not really the end of the world. It's just showing that the stock is not necessarily showing what it should be for how well the company is doing on its own. Because the company's market cap is at $327.5 billion with an average volume at 42 million on a 30-day moving average. So that in itself is something that is absolutely huge. And honestly, I don't believe that the stock is really showing the value of the company. I believe that right now 136 for Palantir Technologies, in my personal opinion, is well undervalued, and that it should be back into where all the price targets have been showing and shouting at the minimum 180 a share marker. So that is my opinion on Palantir Technologies, on where the stock is going to be heading. But there is still all of this turmoil that is coming in with them pushing onto the government, trying to make this contract work. So we'll see what happens in the short term. Hopefully it all works out. If not, well, we'll be here to see it. So, with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So, and if there was a stock that you might hold in your portfolio, or a stock that you are looking into that you want a little bit more knowledge on, or a little bit more of a deep dive, drop it down in the comments below. I'd love to be able to cover another stock and be able to do some more research to be able to increase this portfolio for you guys in the YouTube community. So All that being said, this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?